Hello there. Welcome back to the second part of session 2. If you recall, in part 1 earlier, I used the word ethnocentric approach. Different organizations approach managing their international businesses differently. When I say differently, you can identify 4 key different management approaches that these international organizations adopt in managing their international businesses, from ethnocentric approach to polycentric, regio or geocentric approach. I did mention this word ethnocentric. Ethnocentric management is where the management believes that the home country values, beliefs, thinking, policies are superior, and they tend to see similarities, or they tend to believe similarities in the foreign markets that they are hoping to or operate in. Then on the other hand, you have another type of another way of managing called polycentric, where they think that each host country is a unique market, and they see differences in each of these foreign countries or foreign markets that they operate in. So they tend to look at their culture separately, they tend to look at the beliefs and values of those people separately, needs and wants as a separate set of needs and wants, etc., etc. So they are not trying to push their home country thinking, home country policies, or home country adaptation of products or services to these other markets that they operate in. Regiocentric is where, like polycentric, they think that different regions behave similarly. They see similarities and differences in different regions. So therefore, they tend to make regional sub kind of operations. So each region is a separate operating hub kind of thing. So they tend to use that regional thinking, the regional beliefs in their management of these centers or the hubs. Geocentric is where they take a worldview, see similarities and differences in home and host countries. It's even within the country, you will see various similarities and differences. So that's another way of thinking and operating. So they appreciate the differences and the similarities in all the regions. Okay, let me touch on the World Trade Organization. I'm sure most of you all would have heard what is WTO or World Trade Organization. That's one world organization that is working towards reduction of tariffs or export duties, trying to look at how to stop these bans and quotas that you have between different countries and different regions when it comes to world trade. Overall, World Trade Organization is trying to help world trade by looking at the best possible tariffs, more customer friendly type of products and services movement across barriers. We mentioned couple of trade blocks, and I'm sure you have seen at least some of these. One key trade block that's missing here is SAARC, which is not mentioned, and you have APEC, you have AFTA, you have EU, you have NAFTA. And all these trade blocs or trade unions of countries, they enable world trade or international trade, especially within the countries which belong to one bloc. You have various tariff benefits or incentives built into the international trade. And within these trade blocs, you have various forms of market agreements, starting from the right. Just some of them are political harmony. So what you have is a political union. That means a favorable outlook between the two countries, the political machines, to do trade. But there is nothing beyond that. It is like at certain times Sri Lanka was coordinating with the North American market for apparel. So they had agreements, they had so much of trade happening between that the embassies would facilitate these type of trades. But there is nothing beyond that in terms of financials or incentives. The second one could be common fiscal or monetary policy, an economic union. Then it can advance into a common market kind of thing, where free flow of factors of production like labor is permitted, like EU. And EU has even a customs union, common external tariffs for the entire trade bloc. Then the best kind of market agreement is the free trade area, where there are no internal tariffs, beg your pardon, where you can transfer goods and services across the national boundaries without incurring any tariffs or taxation. All right, so I hope you got some idea now about globalization, the key driving factors behind globalization. What are the factors that you should be cautious about, the restraining factors? Some idea about the world trade blocs, WTO, how WTO helps world trade, how it facilitates, and also what is an M&E, a multinational enterprise. I would ask you to take a few minutes and ponder on these two key points: the main differences between global marketing and marketing in the domestic arena. Number two, what do you think about the macro forces impacting on the development of world trade? All right, so thank you very much. I'll see you or meet you with session 3. Thank you.